Good morning to the beautiful people of Barbados. Welcome to Keeping It Real with Mary. It's so lovely to be here with you Tuesday. I forgot what date it is, the 9th of June. They've got so many things happening of late. I sometimes just lose it all. However, I love to read. Put a book in front of me, I just love to read. And my mom, while I was growing up, always said to me, reading is the way to knowledge. And I'll tell you, folks, I never, ever liked to read. I used to like to watch cartoons, and the movies, Jason of Star Command and He-Man, everything that was moving in front of me, I was able to grasp rather than pick up a book and read because those words look as if they were just moving across the page. But it's very important to note that literacy is one of the highest things that we have in Barbados. 99%, they say. Woo! I don't know how true, but that's recorded that Barbados has the highest literacy rate in the world. So, what caught my attention while perusing for content was two beautiful individuals. And I thought it quite weird. We do have quite a lot of authors in Barbados, and they write numerous amount of things. But these individuals really attacked the youth. So, who am I speaking about? I'm speaking about Gabriel and Stacy. They have very interesting books for children. Let me give you a little tidbit on them. Now, Gabriel and Stacy Welch are the creative team behind the children's book series Lily and Lucas's Adventure. Gabriel, originally from Belgium, is the illustrator with Stacy, who actually is a Barbadian educator and author. They brought her background from in history and culture studies to their storytelling. Since publishing their first book in 2020, they have released 8 books that can now be found in bookstores, libraries, schools, and gift shops across Barbados. The couple actively promotes reading through school visits, book readings, craft fairs, and literary events, both locally and internationally. Now, in 2024, Gabriel and Stacy were selected by the UNESCO Transcultural Program to represent the Caribbean in Italy, where they showcased their creative work on an international stage. Together, they are passionate about making reading and learning fun, engaging, and accessible for children. Let us welcome Gabriel and Stacy.
Good morning,
Good
everyone.
morning, everyone. Good
Good
morning.
morning. It's such a pleasure to have you on the show this morning. It's quite unique, like yourself, and I'm sure you would have done a little research and saw, quite a lot of things going on. So let's begin. I'm quite intrigued with Gabriel myself, being, they call us foreigners here. Um, what really? You were born and raised in Belgium, is that correct?
That is correct.
Right. While Stacy is Barbadian. Now tell us your journey together, how it led to creating children's books here in Barbados. But let Gabriel tell me a little tidbit about him encroaching onto the West Indian side from the European side.
Okay, well, originally I just came here in 2005. It was on vacation, also I thought,
Mm.
and I ended up staying here, and then I ended up going to school here in terms of I went to the Barbados Community College and did English as a foreign language at first, and then after that I eventually went and do a few CXCs outside privately, but then after that I went back to the Barbados Community College and did applied visual arts as an associate degree. Then I went on to work, and not long after that, I met my wife. She was acting, she was an actor, and I met her backstage. And my granny took me, and I told my granny I need to meet the cast. But my granny was very smart. She knew exactly who I wanted to meet, but she played along and she took me to the back and we met all the cast. And me and Stacy exchanged information, and the rest is history. But then, in terms of the books, I was always into art, but I had kind of let that go to the back burner because life and everyday things, work and distractions. So, but during COVID, we didn't have much of a choice, and so I was drawing, and then my wife, she said, "Hey, remember that stuff about tourism that you wanted to do? Why don't you do it?" And I had already moved on from that. I said, "Okay, well, I'm not into that anymore." And she said, "Well, okay, let's do it still." And I told her, "Well, okay, well, if you manage it, then I'll do it." And she did just that. She organized everything, the schedule and what she wanted in the book and everything. And, God downloaded Lily and Luca into us, and the rest is history.
Now, in Belgium, what's your language? What you speak?
French.
Ah, tu
French.
parles français?
Oui, je parle français, oui.
Ah bon. Je parle un peu le français, pas beaucoup, mais je suis née à Paris. Alors,
Okay.
so, ah bon, oui. I don't know if the folks would understand it, but we will we will engage on that on another time. But it gives you a little background into the name Marie. C'est
Marie.
Marie
Okay.
Stella. Yeah, c'est Marie
Marie.
Stella.
Cool.
Right. So, like yourself, I don't want to say my dad met my mom um, in the on the backstage, but it's we have these wonderful romantic stories that bring people from over yonder to the Caribbean, and they're always intrigued with our culture in Barbados. Now, my question really is to Stacy. Coming from an education background, how did teaching influence the stories and lessons you wanted children to experience through your books?
Well, it's funny enough because I taught secondary school level, and majority, if not all, the stories that we create are for the more primary school level. But however, I always had a interest, I always had a passion and a love for writing stories. So I was writing stories from, I don't know, like from the time I was born, in a sense, and the fact that I got into education, and the subjects that I chose, history and cultural studies, also impacted the way the stories that I formed for the little ones. Because obviously, a lot of our books, the concepts around our books, are based on history of Barbados, the heritage of Barbados, and the culture of Barbados. So, being in the field of education in those two areas, history and cultural studies, it helped me a lot to create stories around what I've studied, what I've practiced, what I've taught for so long. So it was quite easy. And we have one book that we wrote for the secondary school level, and that one is a journey, and that one really helped me to express myself in actually in doing research. We had to research the 17 islands. We had to research the research on, and that helped me a lot as being an educator in that field. So basically, education did help me a lot, but mostly so in what I've studied. So it helped to bring along, or it helped to impact our stories based on my experience in the field of history and social studies.
So, for Gabriel, noting that you are artistic and the illustrator, your artistic background, how did it shape the visual identity for Lily and Luca's adventures?
Well, to me, I absorb content that is visual. So I want to give that to the children as well. I want them to enjoy the illustrations. I want them to be able to refer to the illustrations. Say, okay, yeah, I've seen that. Oh, okay, let me go and try and see what that place is like. So I want them to be interested in the educational bit, but also through the illustrations.
Right. Now, noting the difference in cultures, you would have adapted like myself to the Barbadian culture. How has it been for you? Because your adaptation, having have a snippet of what you actually produce. I only saw the book once actually, and I think it was at Brighton or somewhere where you all go to market or something. You all do the
Yes.
market, right? And you all were busy, so I wasn't able to chit chat with you. So I didn't want to miss this opportunity. But I was intrigued with the fact that the concept of your characters had a Caribbean look as well. But for Gabriel, did you have a culture shock? Or, I mean, you grew up here, but sometimes you do acquire a culture shock. So the transition, how would it have been for you, even though you have a Barbadian wife? How was it in terms to adapt and be able to put it into print?
Okay, so I was always a very social person.
Hmm.
So, but it took me a while to actually get the culture, because where I'm from, for example, you don't say hi to people in general, So I learned that here. So much so that when I go back home now, when I say hi to people, they look at me funny. But,
Yes, yes,
so there's
it
that. And
happens to me. Yeah. So how did that help you when you started to work with Stacy in putting your thoughts, the graphics into the book? Because remember, it's more Caribbean book. I mean, it has gone international, which is exceptionally fantastic. But at the same time, you are the producers and you are putting your life, your feelings, your thoughts of our culture, that being Barbados, into your book to sell and entice and engage the children. So, didn't you have a type of a weary kind of, how am I going to get this? I mean, it's a surprising thing for you to see it go out, but was that your expectation for it to go
that,
so far?
well, that was a goal. Our goal was to definitely get that out there and for people to enjoy it, whether locally or internationally. So that's our goal still. So yeah, I guess that was our expectation, but we didn't know how well received it would be, but we were hoping that it would be well received. And so far, so good. We're thankful, and our audience is growing every day. But as far as the illustrations is and the culture, well, having lived in Barbados for over 20 years, it is not really a difficulty to draw things Barbadian. So
Right,
it becomes natural here.
right. So, Barbados having a rich culture and storytelling tradition, living here has really influenced your creativity and the themes that you use for your book.
Yes, yes,
In
please.
terms of that, what has been the response from the children, the parents across Barbados when they meet Lily and Luca?
Oh wow. I mean, we are very grateful for the response, both locally and internationally. We find that Lily and Luca resonate with a lot of the children, especially the ones in Barbados, obviously because of the type of characters that they are. Lily and Luca, they can relate to Lily and Luca. Lily and Luca, they are twin. The background story is they're twin from Yorkshire, England, with Barbadian heritage, just like Gabriel, because Gabriel forgot to mention that his dad is Barbadian, so his father's side of the family reside here in Barbados. So Lily and Luca, they have Barbadian heritage, but they live in England, and they came here one summer to meet their grandparents. And while they were here on a vacation, 6 weeks vacation, they went on these numerous adventures around Barbados and the Caribbean. So Lily and Luca are characters that the children here can resonate with. They do normal things like children here going to Bridgetown. They visit exciting attractions, places of interest in Barbados. And the thing about our books is that we include a variety of ethnicities and races. So the ones from overseas, international children can also relate to Lily and Luca. in the sense that Lily and Luca are friends with, are making friends while they're here with other children from around the world. So they themselves living in Canada, living in England, different ethnicities and races, they can see themselves meeting Lily and Luca. So we have tend to represent children from all races and classes, etc. So it's well received by children. The adults know, the parents, they are very happy with our books. And I think a main reason why they're happy is because our books are not just about storytelling. Not sure if you saw the inside of one of our books, but we also have interactive activities. So we have activities such as, we have puzzles, we have word search, we have spelling. So parents are very
Yes.
happy that we have incorporated that educational aspect. So children are not just reading the book and putting it down. They're actually learning, they're engaged, and they're having fun while they're reading and learning. So we have, I can say that the response to our books is really great, and we're very thankful and grateful. And that's what helps us to continue producing books.
Right.
Yes.
And you said something that I am thinking on with regards to the actual book. The aspect, and you are still our teacher, or you've
I
gone
can
full
say,
time with your publishing.
once a teacher, always a teacher. I'm still yes. So I am still teaching through the books. However, I am not in the classroom, so I'm not like formally teaching. However, I'm still in that phase of transitioning, trying to decide, when I'm going to get back there. So, but at the moment, I'm not in a classroom formally, per se.
Good. I can understand that. Why I ask, would you at some point like to see your books on the school's curriculum for use?
I would love to see the books on the school curriculum. Yes.
Yeah. I'm
Question,
thinking because you would have produced something as well.
Mhm.
I'm a parent, and
Yes.
I understand why you as a teacher would try to do something that is affordable for parents out there when they're going to buy a book. You have a
Yes.
story, you have activities in it, and it's combined in one thing, especially if it's English language that they're doing at primary school level, especially. Why I
Yes.
say that? Because you have to buy one book, and then they tell you to get the activity book. And the
Oh,
activity now must have three things in it now: the puzzles, the thing that they do with the join the dot and
the
stuff like
dots.
that.
The dots,
And
yeah.
if you, as a Barbadian or a
Mhm.
couple or a company, have produced something like this, it could be a reach to the right people
Yes.
to say, okay, well, this is good and it's educational and it's within character of our Barbadian culture. It teaches the
Mhm.
children what we want them to learn in the classroom
Mhm.
and it will
Yes.
engage. I think, having seen quite a few of your books, and there are 8 books, it has given the powers that be the option
Mhm.
to, as we would say, support inside
Mhm.
at this time as we
Yes.
continue to go outside for books. I don't want to, you know, pick up too many things here, but Mary's always keeping it real. But
Yes.
I saw it, I looked at it, and I bypassed it. And I saw you again, and I said, something, I'll have you on and let's chat about this book. Because I
Yeah.
think, having known myself not as an avid reader in my
Mhm.
young days, and that's the
Mhm.
truth,
Mhm.
it only grew when I started to transition from primary to secondary. Why I say that, I see the challenges that the young children have at primary school. The devices, the phone, the tablets, the television, and sadly, we have parents who do not, I don't want to say can't, do not take the time to sit with that child, especially the boys, to read, even if it's 30 minutes in a book. And the creative book that you have made should be within eyesight of a teacher to use in the classroom or at home. Why I say that is because I have to sort of I don't want to use the wrong word. I want to say encourage. I have an 8-year-old boy, and I
Mhm.
find the boys are the ones that are being left on the wayside. And what you have, that book itself, even though you might have a page to read, there's an activity.
Yes.
So, like my son, he's not going to read a whole book.
Mhm.
That's difficult. But if there's something else inside of there and he read the book and you have an activity that coincides with what he has read, he will get it done.
Yes.
So that's why I said it may be a time to sit with those individuals and say, listen, we're using all these different books for the children, and it's a cost. So if I have to pay $60 for 3 books, I could pay 30 for one that has everything, which you have created. And along that line, do you think it is inevitable to be a goal for Lily and Luca to be?
A goal for Lily Luca to be.
That's a hard question, Gabriel.
That question, Gabriel. You had a question?
No, I need you
Repeat.
to explain that question to me
Repeat the
again.
question.
Sorry.
Okay. In terms of your book,
Yes.
books, let me say books,
Right.
and
Right.
Mhm.
Stacy would have explained the aspect of the activities in the one book.
Right.
In
Yes.
Barbados, we have to buy 3 books.
Uh huh.
Three. And sometimes they come up to $60. But if you
Wow.
have one book, that will cost half of the price.
Mhm.
This is something that the powers that be, I'm speaking of the ministry,
Right.
the
Right. Right.
individuals who deal with education, when they have to now go out to all the different schools and write the books down that the teachers need. Stacy would know. Stacy can correct me if I'm wrong. That's what they do. They do a list of books that the
Mhm.
government now pulls together and say this is what the schools are going to use at primary level and da da da. And they change it all the time. So buying books for children who aren't reading the
Mm.
book is a problem.
Yes.
But if you have something that would help that child, boy or girl, to be engaged while they're reading, it can be used in the classroom.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So my question is one of your goals to have a sit down conversation and engage the powers that be to realize by research, you have noticed the parents have to buy all of these books. We're talking primary level, huh? Wouldn't it be easier if you looked at one of our books as a product on the book list that you can use where the parents would be able to just buy this one book? It has the reading and it has the activities. You have puzzles, you have to buy puzzles
Mm.
24, 48, whatever. Those things would help cut the costs for low income parents,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
And be able to engage not only just the child, but the parent with the child and the teacher. It's like a
Yes.
three-tier kind of fold. Do you think you will be able to speak to the powers to be to let them know, well, this is something that you can look at using Luke, Lily, and Luca because it's a Barbadian author, it's a Barbadian production, and we talk about history and culture. Here we have it. I think
Yeah.
that's something that you can probably discuss with
Yeah.
those persons.
The, yes. Absolutely. And there may already been some conversations happening. So yes, definitely. Uh, you know. So they like what we do, and currently we're speaking. This conversations happening. So I believe that in the future, Lily and Luca or other products may end up being in all the schools in Barbados and maybe the Caribbean. We never know, but yes, it's looking good. People like it.
Beautiful,
Yes.
beautiful. Because I think it would be very helpful. And I love the product. I love the idea. I love the concept. And I think, I don't want to be biased, but I think because it's Barbadian and, we have authors from Jamaica and
Mhm,
Trinidad, and, you
mhm.
know, it would be lovely to have a Barbadian authored book in the classroom with
Yes.
children. Don't you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And if
Yeah.
absolutely.
they add, you find that I find that a lot of times the children, the reason why they don't want to read the books that, some of the books that are on the list is because they can't really relate to them. Because for me, I don't want to read a book on bodybuilding. I don't doesn't resonate with me. But give me a book on your styling or makeup. I
Yeah.
would read. So children need to read things that they are interested in, that they can relate to. And I think that our books are books that they can relate to, because
And
they depict places that they can go to. They know about Horson's Cave. They know about Bridgetown, Snow Cone.
yes,
Oh my oyster!
yes.
These are things that they can
Breadfruit.
relate to. Exactly. Yes.
Now, what what is your competition in terms of the book? Because you have a physical book, and
Hmm.
everybody is veering away. I have a bookshelf, but everybody
Hmm.
is veering away from holding a book.
Hmm. Physical.
What's your
Hmm.
competition there? Or do you see a competition, I should ask?
Yes. There's several types of competition, and I'm not going to go too in details, but there's several types of competition. First of all, there's the tablets and the gadgets. That's our number one competition. But
Mm-hmm.
then
Mm-hmm.
we find that there's a lot now more creatives that lean towards similar. So that would be also competition or variety depending on how you look at it. Yes.
Yeah. So basically, the devices, are the tablets, are the phones. We find
Mm-hmm.
that those are competition. However, I must say that there are still a lot of parents. There's a lot of godparents, grandparents, aunties, uncles who prefer a physical book and who know the importance of reading using a physical book. And we are grateful for those persons who are still supporting and who still purchase, despite you may have the technology. There's still a lot of parents out there, I must say, who has this notion that, you know what, yes, you can have a tablet, you can have these toys, but the most important thing when it comes to acquiring knowledge and education is through a book. And sometimes I even tell Gabriel years to come, because at the end of the day, technology can fail you. The internet can fail you. You could be in your house, all of a sudden
Yeah.
your internet is electricity gone off. But with a book,
Yeah.
physical book, you can't it doesn't rely on technology. You can read a book. And I told him in years to come,
Yes.
these books will be sought after. It'll be strange being in the classroom and one child looking at another child, where did you get that from? Oh, my mommy bought this years ago. It would be like
Mm-hmm.
something that
Mm-hmm.
is, something that is iconic, something that people will be going out to get, because how it works. When things go out of style, then eventually they come back because they see a greater need for them.
Yes. Yes. And I hope that with the change that's coming with regards to they're speaking to, and this obviously is for Stacy,
Mhm.
um, the removal of the 11 plus. As a
Mhm.
teacher, always a teacher, as a teacher,
Mhm.
how do you see this shift, expected shift to be in terms of the progress of literacy for the children, and how would it help?
Well, to be honest, I haven't read up so much on that transformation, because, like I said, I taught in the secondary school level, not the primary
Right.
school.
Correct. Hmm.
So I'm at the children when they're finished the 11 plus, and I was actually at a private institution, and private
Right.
institutions go different to um, public education. So I know of friends
Really?
who, I mean, in terms of, well, we're not under government. So yes, we may have the same curriculum per se, and there's some private
Right.
schools that do their own curriculum, where sometimes they don't.
Right.
Some primary schools, some private schools that have like different exams, etc. Like they don't focus too
Hmm.
much on the CSC. So I am saying
Right.
that I know some public teachers, public school teachers, primary school,
Mm-hmm.
who attended
Mm-hmm.
meetings regarding that transformation. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I haven't read too much about it, so I don't think I have a big can say too much about it. Because I did not teach any system. However,
Right.
I'm not sure if I have a personal opinion about it because I don't know that much about how it's going to
About
change.
it.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. That's fair. That's a fair answer. That's a fair answer. Now, you were selected by the UNESCO Transcultural Program to represent the Caribbean in Italy, the Caribbean, sorry. What was that experience like? And what did it mean to showcase your work internationally?
Well, it was really a good experience. We got to showcase Lily Lucas Adventure to people that had no idea that Barbados existed, and that was good. So we gave away some books there. That was really good. We got to meet some people. We got to go on different platforms as well. So that was a good experience to me, and I'm pretty sure my wife enjoyed it too. And but then also that's how we were able to create treasures and adventures that came out of it. That inspiration got us to create treasures and adventures, and that goes to several UNESCO World Heritage sites, and it gives you some information about these places. But also, we develop the characters a lot more. So each children have their own unique personalities, and it's really fun
Mm.
and entertaining, and they discover and learn a lot of things. It's a nice storyline, and it ends with a twist. So I strongly recommend for people to read it.
Wonderful. Including the adults, not just the children,
Oh
because it's a
yes.
fun book. It's a fun book. It's really a fun book. Now, what message would you like to leave with parents, teachers, and young readers about the importance of reading and creativity?
Let's start.
Okay.
Okay, I'll start. Okay, well, I love questions like these because it kind of like open up a lot that we can encourage, that we can send a message out there for parents and young readers and other persons in the powers that be. Education is reading is very fundamental to the growth and development of any individual. I mean, when you read, you open up your imagination to a lot of things. You get to know about places other than where you are. You may not have traveled one day in your life, but by reading a book, you get to learn about other places across the world. So I would encourage parents to, you know, get your child reading from young. I mean say like sometimes for 5 years. No, I would say you could get a child reading from baby stage because you just have books that can be picture books, and you can create your own stories from them picture books to the baby. Some people like to say, oh, they're not at age of reading. No, you can create stories from picture books. So parents should, for the time baby is there, one day, 2 day, 3 day, even sometimes in the womb, you can start to read from that baby to that baby, and you'll find the baby come out, and already they can pick up certain things, and you can help them and engage them and get that development of their growth. And when they get to that age where they can read, it's going to help them in terms of vocabulary, in terms of comprehension, problem solving. And then for teachers, teachers, you have to have a love for teaching. You have to have a love and a passion to see children grow. And we know that reading helps with your being articulate, being able to express yourself. And that would help them as they grow on to get older, secondary school, young adults, where they can express themselves when they have to go into interviews. For young readers, creativity is very important. I believe that God has given each and every one of us a talent, a gift. You have to know God. You have to find out what that gift is. You are creative. You have the ability. He has given you the ability. And with that, you can go out and you can be who he has called you to be, whether it be an illustrator like Gabriel, whether it be an artist like myself, a painter, whether it be a dancer. So I believe that even by reading, because you can read stories about other persons like us, for example, and be inspired, And that will help you to bring out the creativity and the abilities that are already in you. So that is my message to the parents, to the teachers, to the young readers, to the creatives, and then for the powers that be. You have the powers to help the children. So when you see local authors, when you see something that is well liked by others overseas, don't wait until those overseas, graphs are come up against us, and then do things. I think you should home drums beat first. Home drum beat first. So I would say to invest in something like this. You're not going to go around, and it's going to help you, because at the end of the day, what we are doing in our books, we are promoting Barbados free of charge. We haven't asked for a penny, but we love it. We love our country. We're patriotic, and we love our country, and we love the children here, and we want them to know as much as possible about Barbados, because they're a generation now that are going to impact future generations.
Beautifully said, Stacey. I love what you said. Home drums beat first. And that is a true patriot. And the encouragement on your right, that being your husband, your partner, who sees the same and feels the same passion that you have for Lily and Luca's adventure. So tell the folks out there where they can acquire Lily and Luca's adventure.
Okay, so there's Best of Barbados. That's one of the stores where I think they have 5 locations where you can get our books. There's the UWI Bookshop,
Barbados Museum, Flower Forest,
Harrison Cave,
Hayman's Market. Yes, Market. We have some hotels like Mango Bay Hotel. We are at Brighton every Saturday.
Those are the list.
Yeah, we are at Brighton every
I know
Saturday.
that. Right. So, I thought that would have been your first hit.
Yes, and get a signed copy of the book. Not just a book, but get a signed copy. That's very important.
There you go. There you go.
What pictures we have?
We have quite a few.
Yeah.
But
so good. Give me 5 of them again, but don't forget the markets. So give us the markets.
So we're at Brighton Market. We're also at Harson's Cave. We're at Best of Barbados. We're at the Flower Forest. We're at Hayman's. So that is 5. Yes.
And one place that is a nice place to go to and is encouraging people to visit is the Barbados Museum.
Yes, the Barbados Museum. Sorry,
so
yes.
Because it's a locally produced book.
Yes.
I was thinking of 3 places. I thought of Brighton's, because most people go to Brighton's on a Saturday morning. Yes, Hayman's is a new area. It's bigger and you've got all the crowd. But Brighton's on Saturday for an autographed copy, of course.
Yes.
And you have the Flower Forest, you have Harrison's Cave. And the best place to go is the museum. You buy a book in the museum and you buy Lily and Luca. Intertwined because Lily and Luca going to the museum.
Yes. And also UWI bookstore, yes.
And the UWI bookstore. So folks, you will see me post that on the page for those of you who may have missed out on where the book can be purchased. They don't have 1, they have 8. So you have options. They have lots to read, and it's all encompassed about Barbados, the culture and the history. Gabriel and Stacey, I want to commend you. I don't have any stars today to share out, but you are a star to me and to my audience. I truly appreciate the hard work that you've put into those books, and I hope and pray that you continue to engage us, keep us abreast with Lily and Luca and their adventures so that we can continue to follow your progress. I say to you, continue, have that passion, continue to engage, continue to be expressive in terms of letting people understand the importance of reading and the feel of the book in their hand. Yes?
Yes, thank you
Yes.
so much.
Thank you for coming on the show. And we will, of course, keep you up to date and continue to invite you. Maybe I, my brain is always cooking. We will have you on to have one of the books read. So at least we would get
Yes,
Be
folks
great.
going out there. I'm
yes,
thinking that I would continue with Gabriel and Stacy. We have a little discussion on that so you can come on and engage me.
yes.
I'll get my book, you read your book, and you would read for us. And of course, we
Yes,
would discuss more in the book. Yes? So,
Absolutely.
yes.
folks, thank you to Gabriel and Stacy Welch. Let me not forget to mention to you the Women's Wellness Pajama Retreat that's coming up on the 13th of June at Blue Horizon from 12 in the afternoon. Our speakers will be Dr. Sandra Bino, Dr. Denise Charles, and Miss Katrina Eiffel. All about perimenopause and menopause. I've got my fan here and I'm still fanning. Oh, yes. So, anyone who wants to know more, to try to understand the journey and, you know, find out more, come out on Saturday afternoon. Dinner is going to be served. You may have a special guest other than myself. Of course, the best dressed pajama will be given a prize. So we're looking forward to seeing you folks at Blue Horizon from 12 o'clock. And always remember, call a friend, say hello, tell them you love them. It's very important to keep engaging with your family, your friends. Sometimes people are left on the wayside and you forget them. Our lives have grown busy. But once you can pick up that phone and call someone and say hi to them, it's most important. So remember, folks, keeping it real with Mary. See you next time. Have a beautiful week and stay safe.
All right.